So, quick update. Ron got fired from his job. Yeah, that's right. He got fired from his job. Yeah, this year has been a lot, and it just keeps giving us a lot of crap. Um, so, for those who may not know, in February, Ron got sick. Uh, the company he works for, they do not enforce mask mandates, right? Which is ironic considering that they basically make packaging for food. Yeah, for food and like medical supplies, right? Well, Ron got sick. And the thing is he has type 2 diabetes. He's diabetic. So, of course, with him being immunocompromised, that means even a cold can really hurt him. Well, he had corona, right? Ron was in the ICU for 5 days. They had to medically sedate him. He almost died. Basically, they had told me that if I had not called emergency services to help Ron, he would have died. All right. So, the company that Ron used to work for, they are ableist. They made it very clear that they are ableist because the head of HR, the lady from HR, went from saying that, oh, Ron would have everything he needed to being a company person who only cared about the company's bottom line through and through. Because the thing is Ron almost died, right? And then he had to do physical therapy for 3 months. His work wouldn't clear him until he did it. And the physical therapist basically recommended that he, have another week, one more week of therapy, or physical therapy, so he could be able to do his job because it's a very physically demanding job, right? Because, he's a machine operator and that involves a lot of physical work. Well, the lady from HR basically told Ron, and I quote, "You took too much time off." That's right. Told him that he, quote, took too much time off, like he was on vacation, not that he was fighting for his life in the ICU, not that he was fighting to get better, to heal his body, right, to gain his strength back, basically acting like it was a burden, it was an insult that he dared to do everything he could to get better so he could get back to work. Told him you took too much time off and that he didn't have any FMLA left. Right? So my husband went back to work because he said, well, we need the money. The bills are piling up. We're behind. Yeah. Yeah. And it did not get better because they brought in a guy, a supervisor, right, to make things more efficient and more productive, right? And that guy is a bully. He was on Ron constantly, and not just Ron. He was on not just Ron. He was on other people too, going on about their numbers, their production numbers, their production numbers. And at one point in time, he asked Ron, why he didn't seem to be keeping up. And Ron explained that he nearly died, that he was in the ICU, that it was a whole thing, that he had to do physical therapy, and that yes, he was better, but he wasn't 100% yet. And that stale donut of a supervisor, that stale donut of a person, told my husband to his face, "I don't believe you." Yelled it at him, "I don't believe you," and then proceeded to use ableist language towards my husband, trying to shame him for, quote, not doing good enough. The thing is Ron keeps very good track of his numbers and he's worked very hard for most of his life, like since he was like 16. Okay? He doesn't complain. He's not a bad person. He doesn't go out of his way to be mean to anyone. He's very kind. The 17 years I've been married to that man, he has never ever raised his voice to anyone. He's always been very kind and gentle and always willing to help. You know, if he can help, he helps. He's not a bad person. But the way he was treated is shameful. And So we fast forward, right? And yeah, we're behind. We're behind. We had to pick and choose which bills to survive, right? We had to pay the water bill, we had to pay the heat bill, right? We had to pay rent, right? And yeah, and it's a lot, right? It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. But we're doing the best we can, right? And then and then Ron's truck cracked out, right? The radiator went. Um, and it was like, great, here's one more freaking thing we got to deal with this year. Luckily, his dad helped out. He loaned Ron his truck so Ron could like go into, to and from work so we could, have a vehicle. Um, until so because Ron is like, well, we have to sell the truck, like it's done. Um, yeah, but then yesterday, my husband lost his job because that same supervisor, again, who is a bully and is an ableist jerk, basically marched up to Ron with one of the people from HR and lied, right? Lied, claimed that Ron's production numbers were under 50%. They weren't, right? And proceeded to talk about like how he wasn't doing enough and well, they were going to have to let him go. It was an excuse. And Ron knows this because he said when he asked the person from HR if he could collect unemployment, said that they had a look on their face, right? And they said, yes, you can collect unemployment. And Ron said he knew right then and there that the reason for firing him was not legitimate. They could not find a valid reason to fire him. It was an excuse. And the thing is Pennsylvania is an at-will state, meaning companies like this can fire people for any reason, including being ableist dill holes, right? And the thing is, Ron was not the only person this guy harassed, or was ableist to. And he said that one of the guys at work basically told that supervisor to F off and walked out and did not come back. And that several people have already quit or put in their 2 weeks, right? Yeah, the lesson that we all know is corporations are not our friends. And this is a shining example of that because they want their people to be more efficient and productive. So they bring in somebody who's not only ableist, but has basically bullied and harassed everyone until they quit or leave. Or in Ron's case, you make up something, and lie about them and fire them, right? And HR is not your friend either. Yes, there are people in HR who actually do care, who actually do try to do right by the people that work for the company. But then there are people in HR, like the woman who runs that place at Ron's now old job, um, basically only caring about the company's bottom line. They went from saying, oh, Ron will have everything he needs, to claiming that he took too much time off, like he was on holiday, right? And then allowing that supervisor to harass him constantly, to be ableist towards him, to claim that he was lying about his health, which is not okay. And yes, we are doing what we can to report this, but we know that, there's probably not going to be anything to come out of it. And it's been very frustrating and it's been very awful. And I'm tired all the time and I'm angry. I'm angry from my husband because he is a good person. He is not a bad person. He's not a mean person. And as I said, in all the 17 years that I've been married to that man, he has been gentle and kind and loving, not just to me, but to our 3 daughters who are grown now. You know, he is not a bad person. And the fact that he was treated so shamefully by these people, by this corporation, by that supervisor, by the people in HR is unacceptable to me. That I'm so mad and I'm so tired and I'm so frustrated with this whole year and all of it, right? And yet Ron is still being positive about it, saying, well, I was wanting to leave and find something better, anyway. He said, because it was very obvious that they don't actually care about any of us, right? And assuring me that it's going to be okay, that he will find something, that he will find a job, no problem, something better. And I love him for that. I love his gentle kindness. I love his positivity. I love his faith in things working out, because I don't have that. I am struggling this year. My mental health with my depression and my anxiety has been the worst it's been in a very long time. And yes, I have a therapist that is helping me with that. They've helped me a lot, but I am struggling. And this was yet another thing that happened, another awful thing. And I'm so tired, and I'm frustrated, and I'm sad, and I'm angry, and I'm protective of Ron. And it makes me absolutely furious that he was treated in this shameful manner by people that 100% know better, especially HR. Yeah, you know what you did. You know what you did to him, and you went along with it because you didn't care about him. You cared about the company's bottom line. And to corporations who do this, and to people who work in HR who do this, people aren't numbers. They're human beings. They are human beings. They are people with family, with friends, with communities. And you treating them like this speaks volumes to me about your behavior. And I know you don't care. I know you don't care. You never care about people until it's too late, right? Because when it makes you look bad, when it makes your company look bad, then you give a damn, right? So I posted my Ko-fi on my socials, and I'll probably post it here, because we need help, and it's humbling to ask for help. It really is. But the other side of that is our family, our friends, our community have helped us out a lot, and thank you. Thank you for helping. Thank you for caring about Ron. Thank you for caring about me. Thank you for caring about us. We appreciate it. It means a lot. I don't know if we would have made it this far without your help. So thank you. I'm just really tired, and I am trying to hold on, and I'm trying to do the best I can. And honestly, it feels like it's not good enough most of the time. And it has been a really rough year, and everything has been a lot, and it's been overwhelming. I'm trying not to give up. I'm trying to do the best I can. And I'm trying to be there for Ron and support him, the way he always shows up for me and supports me. He assures me that we are going to get through this together like we always do. And I believe him. But I'm just exhausted. And he understands that too. He understands, that I'm stressed because, he's stressed as well. But at the end of the day, we are doing our best to be there for each other and show up for each other and get through this together. So it's just hard, but we're trying. Thank you thank you to everyone who has helped us. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.